Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody, to Old Gray Bricks. It is Thursday. It is raining like cats and dogs in Georgia. It is, how's it in Florida? I don't know.
It's moist.
It's raining, men.
It's a
Look,
bit.
we haven't been in here a minute, and you've mentioned moist already.
Moist.
Y'all are getting all the rain we've been getting for the past 4 days. So it finally, the sun was out here today. So
I went to the.
That's why he's got his guns out, because the sun's out.
Yes,
that's right.
Look at that thing.
It was so moist in Georgia.
How moist was it?
When I went to the ice rink, the piping above the ice rink was having little droplets fall on the ice, and there were little tiny stalagmites starting to form on the ice, and they were like starting. If we had a million years, they would have been enormous, but we didn't. But we had this drip from the condensation inside the rink.
Off the piping.
I didn't say anything about pipes.
You did. You said piping.
Number one, you said you got the stalagmite correct over stalagmite.
Yes.
And number two, remember how we were drilled in our heads the difference? And number three, who cares?
The park rangers.
Only once in my life have I been in a cave to go, hey, that's a stalactite and that's a stalagmite, and then we left, and I've never been back. So
And then it hit my
one
head.
Cave? You went to Mammoth, didn't you?
Probably. It was on a tour thing and everything.
It is the biggest one.
I know the difference, but
Huge.
that is knowledge that I have not really needed. So hello, Stever, Battery Powered Bricks, entertainingly lame, all here in the chat so far. I put the notification that we actually had a show about 15 minutes ago because I forgot to upload the graphic.
I did that yesterday too. It was like
that's why we're the king of all media.
We are. We actually solved the problem of the show before the show started. So I feel like we're gonna be like, we talked about this 15 minutes ago. But anyway.
I try
I
to
heard
tell
him.
you guys no, you just can't. You're like old ladies. You just can't wait to kibitz.
Yep. There you go. That comment seals it right there. They're both stalagmite, stalactite. They're both drippy rocks. Why do we have to have two different ones?
Your mom's a
We
drippy
should-
rock.
we should
All right,
only-
so Pink
should
Wheels
only be allowed
is headed to bed. Say goodnight to Pink Wheels.
Good night, Meredith.
Praying for you. Praying to feel better. Hello, Aubrey. Hello.
Which saddens me that because Meredith said she was going to drink coffee to try and come on Old Gray Bricks with us tonight. So evidently the coffee didn't work.
Promises.
She told me I've been keeping up with her, and she told me that she got out and did some walking exercise, trying to, get better and get some things better, and it just tuckered her out. So I get it anyway. So but she was wanting to talk about how stinky the bricklink designer program is. So
And Chris was like, I don't walk at all. Look how healthy I am. So.
hey, that's right. Hey, look at this. I'm wearing a shirt that's almost 10, 15 years old. This is when I had a website, preclassicspace.com. So look at that. Dug that out of the
Nice plug.
Yeah, that's right. That's like it didn't work anymore.
Never heard.
I can pull a flea knocker and go put on a shirt that I haven't worn in 15 years.
Hey, watch where you're pulling your flea
You're
knocker.
going to end up in the ER. I'm just going to say. So.
I can't even wear shirts that I wore 15 years ago. They bit my arm nowadays. So
Just don't spring a stalagmite. That's all.
You guys said you want me to take my shirt off?
Tim, you're so swollen.
No.
You're so swollen.
I did. I swole a lot.
You swolled up. What happened to the old Timmy?
It is we're still in miracle mode that he's got his shirt still on, so don't encourage Brick Smith in any way. All right.
You say the word. It's
Whatever you do, don't play the "I'm too sexy for my cat" because
you know what though. But
It'll
here's the
impact-
problem. The reason I would take it off is because I'm moist.
The moisture helps
Last
you.
time I saw him, he had no shirt on. So
And
let's not go back
you'll
to
be the only one, and I don't know what that means. All right.
Yeah,
No, sir. If I take my shirt off and I'm moist, there's a lot of other people going to get moist.
Okay, let me just go ahead and preempt let me just give everybody who's watching this go on.
Is that a new record? Is that a new record, John?
It is, I think. I think it is.
So I'm just thinking, I'm in between moist and drippy pipes. I'm worried.
It almost sounds like a reference for a trick dickle.
No, that's a NASCAR driver.
Oh, there we go.
That's Dick Trickle. Thank you very much.
Yes.
So.
Didn't that what I said?
No, you did not.
No, it was quite inappropriate and different. So
did I reverse it? I'm
yes,
sorry.
you messed it up.
I was literally trying to do an appropriate reference, but
you fail. Where's the?
I'm
There's
gonna
no
reach around
appropriate
and
anything
grab
right
this
now.
Lego that I'm looking at.
They just got to reach around.
We're gonna
Oh,
clip
geez.
this part of the
Oh,
show
dude.
and send it to you in an endless loop tomorrow.
Somehow I feel this is my fault. I won't get to come back now.
Oh no, Tim. This is actually retribution for Chris giving me an 1,100 parts list last week and
It
saying,
was that.
"Here, talk about this."
Why don't you go over these 1,100 parts in your spare time?
Was that last week or Monday?
It was last week.
Holy
week.
crap! Okay.
That was last week. That was when my wife was coming down with COVID, and she's better now. So
Well, that's good. Sorry to hear that, man. COVID sucks.
Coltrickle was in Days of Thunder. So Tom Cruise.
I'm pretty sure that was a reference, though.
Yes. Any trickle they can. Never mind. All right.
Any trickle in a storm.
If you guys keep on talking about this, I'm gonna have to go use the bathroom.
I gotta say, when you get our age, being able to trickle is a good thing.
I was about to say, go to the bathroom. Yeah.
Unless you start grunting and pushing too hard, you're gonna get a trickle.
Must be nice.
You know what? You got to be careful. That's how you got to be careful. That's how Elvis died.
Yeah, well, this apparently is sponsored by Flomax. So
I missed that.
Elvis who, as the kids would say.
Metamucil. Metamucil would probably be a better.
If you're getting these jokes, you need to schedule your exam. It's time to schedule.
Which I did actually schedule an exam today.
Metamucil is rear exit. Trickle is front. So
Matthew, speaking of which, Matthew, I may need to ask you to see if you can take me for a test and spend 3 hours there while I'm there and drive me home. I don't know. I don't know who else I can call.
Where this was going exactly.
Yeah.
But I am there for you, Dana. I am there for you. Say it.
Are you going to go take the one where you fart all the time? Is that the one you're trying to get after?
It's not that I'm trying to get after it, but yes, I've been instructed that's what I need to go get.
You definitely need to go do that.
Wait. You don't get to poop in the box instead? You got to go get the guy scratching your insides?
Because I am of the age and I have never had one before.
Wait a minute. You're older than me.
I'm the same boat.
I get them twice a year now for
the doctor's like,
years.
No,
am I missing
it's
something?
really about that time, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'll schedule that someday.
My postal carrier said, please quit sending those boxes out. That's supposed to be a monthly subscription.
Ow.
Who knew the postal service was such a S job? Sorry, Chris. I wanted to say it, but I didn't.
Old Shirley, did you then look at them and say,
Yes.
"Oh crap"?
Yes.
Well, the good news is
Does
that we're not
the
talking
Canadian mail service run the same kind of crap?
We can send it letter mail.
Big West, he's on mammograms as a 50-year-old B cup. Probably. So
I got you.
I couldn't have planned this. This
Wow.
was very organic.
this is us not wanting to talk about the topics.
It's more fun than the topic. I have to say.
And seeing how you guys beat to death the topic in the pre-show, I'm just saying.
A dental visit is more fun than the topic. Let's not.
No.
At least you get Novocaine.
Depending on the dental hygienist, I swear nuns could learn a few things from dental hygienists.
Mine's name is Steve. No.
Oh, look, your gums are bleeding. Yeah, that's because you're so rough.
Rinse with this salt water,
with a large metal hook.
What's a dentist?
Go back to the 17th. What was the 17th thing?
I'm missing those.
Moving right along.
All right.
Showing out. I'm missing two over here.
All right. So wait. In this room, just about all of us will be at Atlanta Brick Convention, correct? Eldon Shirley, you're the only one. Is that right? He's not going to be there. Eldon Shirley, there's still time, brother. Get on
What do you
down there.
mean your suitcase?
Peer pressure.
Don't think it hasn't crossed my mind. If I didn't have a business related trip that weekend over into the next I'll be down in Jacksonville. Maybe I can hook a left as I'm
Wait, when are
going.
you going to be down in Jacksonville that weekend?
Where do we
Yeah.
need to phone in the bomb threat? Just tell.
I
Wow.
like the way you think.
And there we go, YouTube.
Yeah.
FBI will be knocking on our doors.
That was
now.
the end of that run.
I'll
I'd like
use
to see
Dana's
them
phone
try and
number.
knock on my door.
I'll spoof Dana's phone number. Don't worry.
Oh dear, dear,
You Lego
dear.
people and you're Canadians.
But see, you can all hold your sit-in with protest signs over tonight's topic at there.
There you go.
It's true. It's true. All right.
All right.
So let's go ahead and just talk about the topic, and we'll talk about it for a little bit. And
Can we talk about Atlanta BrickCon instead?
Yeah, we'll talk about Atlanta BrickCon after we talk about the topic. That'll be fine.
All right.
See, I don't even
All
know
right.
what's going on with this topic. You guys are all got your panties in a wad, and I have no idea what y'all are talking about because I don't care.
Well, Dana
Dana
didn't either when he logged on, but now he has a very strong opinion, probably.
Strong is a strong word.
Well, and let's go ahead and just start talking first. I think we note from some friends of ours who have BrickLink stores, and people in this room have BrickLink stores. BrickLink sales are not hot and heavy like they used to be. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
I've actually done fairly well for the past month, I would say.
I've sold a
picked
lot
up.
of minifigs from sets lately, but I just do minifigs and I do sealed sets. I don't sell parts. Generally.
Wise.
Well, and that's probably why you're doing okay, because I think the real hit is on parts. And from when I talked to Ginny over at Wild Bricks, her statement was talking about the fact that her sales have been down. And I thought about it, and I mean, I still fairly regularly order from her, but I wasn't over probably October, November, and December. I was doing pick-a-brick orders because I was looking for basic bricks. I was looking for plates and tiles and bricks and some curve pieces, and they were all coming up under best sellers at Pick-a-Brick. So free shipping. The parts usually wound up being around the same price, maybe a little higher, but the shipping wound up making it worthwhile. And I was guaranteed to get them within probably less than a week. And I got VIP points, and it qualified for GWP. So I think that is really where Lego is undercutting its BrickLink market, because they're actually making it easier for us to get parts directly from them.
But only if you're doing like bestseller parts. If you're doing the standard, then those parts are like, who's got time to wait a month, right?
Correct. But if you think about it, if you're doing specialty parts, are you typically ordering lots of specialty parts?
Tend to be, yeah.
Well, tend to.
Well, it depends what I'm working on, right?
It does. It depends on what you're working on. But if you're building sculptures, if you're building you're building, large displays, you're typically wanting large common pieces, plates. And if you can get those straight from Lego, they're brand new parts. And again, all those bonuses to it. So I think that's really where we're starting to see BrickLink sellers getting hurt.
Yeah. Triple D Honey is still more minifigs. Yeah, minifigs. And honestly, minifigs. Yeah, I don't know how Whatnot's doing. I haven't Whatnotted in about a month. But Whatnot is
TMI.
Yeah, we've all been sick, but but I haven't run a Whatnot show in a bit. And Olden Surly knows, because he will come and pick a bunch of stuff. And then I'm like, I realized, like, man, I should have sold that fig. I should have kept it, but a little bit of regret. But so there's a few repositories, different places other than BrickLink now.
Repository?
So no, that's for the other problem that we had.
Oh, repository. Sorry.
So BrickLink seems like it's hurting. It's still controversial that Lego now runs and owns and manages BrickLink. It's almost like BrickLink and Boeing are on parallel courses where, blow out a door plug, screw up the inventory, all this kind of stuff. Seems like they're on a bad path. So it was announced, and I didn't know about it until I saw R.R. Stein, I believe. Who I'm trying to. Is it R.R. Stein or L.L. Stein? Sluggo, whatever his name is.
R.L. Stein is like a children's book author.
Yeah, that's right. Sluggo, whatever that guy's name is. He's really cool. I like his videos, but I don't know his name. He did it, and then Duck Bricks then comes in after, right on the coattails, doing a story that there was an announcement on bricklink that R.R. Slugger, there it is. Whatever his name is. We're old. We don't care. All right. Anyway, he's got really cool content, controversial content. It makes you mad or think or laugh. He's really good. You found the what was that you just linked in the thing there, Jeff?
It's one of the latest things that actually talks about those parts. I'll get the original post in 2 seconds and post it.
Oh, sure. Okay, that'd be good. I went looking for it, but I couldn't find it real fast. R.L. Stein, yeah. Did your parents let you read those books as a kid, or was that with the movies that you burned?
No.
Okay. All right. Good deal. All right. So, announcement came out that admin on Bricklink said that they are going to change the part inventories, reduce some categories, combine some categories, and then alarm bells went up. R.R. Slugger, he collects 80s, 90s. He's a fan of 80s, 90s Lego like we are. So he felt that change big time when it comes to, in his example, if you were to buy the Megacore magnetizer and you would get the wrong tiles. If you wanted an old authentic set, there are differences in parts and everything. If you don't know, even though the standard for Lego has been the same for years, there are part variants. And over the years, for the good and bad and not exactly perfect, that Bricklink has been a repository, and I said repository, thank you very much, of a lot of fan knowledge and knowledge into that database. And
technically, it's been a suppository of that information as well.
Well, when it was down
information,
because they were being hacked, that was the story. So,
sorry, and just to correct, you mentioned the tiles changing. The tiles are not changing. I actually just the article, the second article I posted there, Chris, the second item, is saying that Bricklink is keeping all the tiles the same. They're just removing the with groove part of the title.
Okay.
Whereas the old ones are going to say without groove. So they're not even merging them, they're just renaming them. Because with groove is just that much more text. Let's save a couple of bytes of data, which
I got a quick question to that.
Sure.
Couldn't our Bricklink sellers just go ahead and put it in quotes or something next to the part?
Yes, there's a category section. There's a comment section, and that's what they're actually recommending in the last post I sent to Chris. It actually
we just needed to say old gray bricks approved. That's it. That's all you got to put there, and then you know which one you're getting.
All right. So the big noise about that was the parts differences and like that, and there's still going to be some differences and stuff like that. But to the point of, if I want to go back and look at there's a body of knowledge, say with a set like the Megacore magnetizer, that lists all the original parts and stuff like that. When I go look at that inventory, am I just going to see grill tile there with no distinction of what part it is?
If it's the Magnacore magnetizer, you'll see grill tile without groove.
It will say that?
It'll say that. If it that's what I'm reading from this latest post that I just caught up on. If it is a newer set, it'll just say grill tile. 1x2 grill tile.
And I think and basically all this sounds like is a DBA said we needed to clean up some stuff, and so that's what's caused this. And that the reality is that you're still going to be able to find the piece you're looking for. It just means that all new sets are not going to have the words with groove. That's it.
Okay. So the one I'm questioning is the smooth slopes. Because there's like 2x3 33-degree slopes with there's the old slopes and the current slopes that have the roughness on the side.
Yep.
And there's some smooth variants. And we're still not sure. I'm still not sure what the solution is for those, if they're actually merging the two together, or if they're just doing a rename. And I'm just going to see if I can track
So
that down.
I'm going to guess, because you said that with or without groove, so it's going to be either there won't be a designation, or it will be rough, or whatever's the current version, or whatever isn't the current version, that will be the default.
It looks like those two are actually being merged. That's the current understanding, that it will be 2x3, 33-degree slope.
That's it.
And it's up to the seller to maybe indicate currently, if they're on the ball and they know about it ahead of time, to say smooth version in the description. I'm just gonna quickly read through another couple on that.
But this is a good point though. Description is useless when you're buying from a wanted list. You know, if you're, I'm just wanting to pull a wanted list and everything. You know, am I going to dig through there and everything? I feel like this obviously is a win for the seller, because they don't have to keep so many categories anymore. But you know, I don't know.
We're not removing any categories at all as well. It's just
not
names.
categories. If I want, I mean, I'm hoping the clip, because you know the new clip, this clip is superior to the old ones. I mean, in tons of ways. But if I want those, you know, I guess I have to go read in descriptions.
And the clip isn't changing currently. They're not changing that part.
Good.
They're only changing a few things. The biggest one I would say, or one of the easiest ones to think about, is if you think about the Technic 1x2 bricks with the axle hole in it. For a while, like they had axle holes are a plus, but for a while they had a funky one that kind of went like an X.
Mm-hmm.
It was still the same thing, but it had less plastic in it. They're merging that one together with the original one, because that mold only existed for like a year, like 2 or 3 years, whatever the time frame was, and then they went back to the other style. So they tested it out. They didn't end up using it. Just go back to the original type thing. Yeah. So those are getting merged together, but those are visually different, and you can tell. I think the real issue is if a new person comes to the hobby and they're like, "Oh my God, I want to buy the cafe corner. I can't afford the cafe corner, so I'm going to part it out." And technically, you can't really afford to part it out either. But anyway, I'm going to go to Bricklink and I'm going to grab this list of parts. And there might be a part that's been merged. So that old part now no longer is separated. So now I'm going to go in Bricklink, I'm going to add all those parts to my shopping list. And I'm going to say, auto grab all those parts from stores for me. And I'll pay $1 million or whatever. But, you know, and I want to buy all those parts from people's stores. And like they have the auto buy feature, so you can do that. Mm-hmm. But that person is not going to know that they might be buying a variant. They might be buying the wrong variant. And just as a side note to that as well, if they have half the parts from their collection and they have one of the older versions, like maybe they're trying to replace a few pieces, like that click hinge or like that brick with the cross, the axle stud. If they buy some replacements and they get the wrong one than the one they got, then who are they going to complain to? They're going to complain to the seller to say, "Hey, this is not the same part that was in the set. What's going on?" And the seller will be like, "Actually, the part, you know, like, you know, they had 2 different variants or whatever, and Bricklink merged this together, and there's going to be a lot of issues from the seller's point of view."
It feels like it's going to give you all a lot more seller emails to have to deal with potentially. Yeah. You know. But
from adding parts, like if I were to take a set and part it out, my job gets a little easier if I don't, because now I don't have 3 categories to part into for one part type thing, hypothetically. But again, I might not know that was a variant, and then the seller comes back to me and says, "Hey, this isn't the part I ordered. I was expecting this one," and send me a picture or whatever, and I'll be like, "That's the part
like
I have."
Saying, you know, people that are coming late to the game like me that, you know, are trying to live vicariously by either reconstructing maybe partially assembled sets that you need to fill in those gaps or cracks, or you're just building it like you said, pay the fine.
Yeah.
You're going to end up with half and half. I mean, if you think about it, like you were talking to smooth versus rough, you get a seller that maybe isn't conscientious. You just, you
get a guy who buys like 50 of that slope from someone, and they're getting a mix of them both, and they go to put them into a roof of a building, and it's like, well, why Why do some of them shine and some of them don't? Why are some of them rough and some of them not?
What
I ordered
about-
the same part.
What about the inverted 2x3 tiles? Remember, there's a redesign on that. It has a different angle slightly. Is that going to be merged?
The 2x3 inverted tile?
I'm sorry, inverted slope. Sorry,
Inverted
Yeah,
slope.
I think there's a couple of them on there, aren't they?
Yeah, there is. And basically, those slopes have, they've got like some reinforcement between the studs, and they did the reinforcement a couple of ways. There's nothing functional with that piece that I know of that would make a difference if you're building a set that's older and you're using that part. It's just a structure thing trying to make.
Well, it'll be a look because that angle is slightly
Yes.
different and the edge is different. By the way, this is how that discussion thing. Check this out. This is the announcement, and I'm just going to quickly scroll through the replies. Are you ready? Well, I'm going to go down to the tree here. This is the conversation on bricklink. The tree is much more entertaining. Here we go. And message 1. Here we go. Woohoo! Wow. It looks like bad ASCII art from the 80s, right? Gee whiz,
yeah,
look at that.
There was what, 651 messages? Oh, it's 50,
like
yeah,
that.
51.
And this was all from like today.
Yeah, this was announced yesterday, right?
No, because the original post was January 25th. Oh, yeah. No, January 25th. No, hold on.
January 9th? So this
we
has
talked
been
about
laying
it
out
last-
there.
No, it's been out there for a while. Yeah, January 9th. I'm just looking at one of the more recent threads. That's why I got the wrong
Yes,
date.
the R.L. Stein or whatever his name is.
JJ
He was
Abrams.
he was like, when he posted his video, he's like, nobody's talking about this. I think this could be a big deal. And so it wasn't just like the announcement wasn't yesterday, but the attention to it basically is in the last 24 hours, 48 hours. So.
And I mean, most of that is because there's not a lot of people, like not a lot of the community would probably read the Bricklink forums on a regular basis. There are people that are like the old Lugnet days that are on the Bricklink forums every day, like reading posts and commenting, right? But
Yeah,
What do you want
that
to bet
message
that it was
reminds
the?
me of old Lugnet days.
What do you want to bet it was the IT cyber guys that were trying to deflect from the the minutia from a couple months ago? They're like, "Hey, DBs, I got a great idea for you. Why don't you start making stuff?"
Let's make you the hated. Let's make you that most hated
Exactly.
group.
Get that spotlight back on something.
oh, and sorry, speaking of the hack a couple of months ago, I did find out today or yesterday that Bricklink's actually for sellers. If you go to your seller settings in the management section, they now have a 2-factor authentication process there, where if you turn it on, if you want to change your store settings, you have to enter in that code that gets emailed to you.
Nice.
So basically, if someone is hacking your store, they can't get in because, unless they have your email address as well already or something like that. But at least there's another layer of protection there that I didn't know about until yesterday.
A boot?
This man's voice is just about the sexiest thing I have heard in a long time. God bless Canada.
My voice?
It sounds like a fresh bowl of poutine. That's what it feels like.
I don't normally talk this much, so.
What are you throwing out Jane Bricks? I thought that was your go to sleep love affair.
By the way, when Jake, my son was ill, he was, and we think he had COVID since my wife had it afterwards. But a particular form of Hardee's did not, that is now urgent care, did not find him that he did. But he was in there, and I walked in, and he's like, "I think I need to go to bed." It was the middle afternoon. He's laying in there, and I go to check on him, and he is zonked, dead to the world. And on his TV in his room is a Jang video. He put him to sleep with a Jang video.
I thought you were going to say that he was on the Bricklink forums and that's what put him to sleep.
Oh, that happened. I walked in there and I hear, "Well, this is a particularly very fine build," and Jake's gone, man.
I haven't watched Yang in forever.
More
But he
power
was the guy I
to
first saw years ago.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, the
inspired
power.
me.
All right, so I'm gonna just throw this up there since I'm apparently at gunpoint made y'all look at parts last week, and y'all could not figure any other thing to do with me taking care of my ill wife. I'm going to our friend, and I'm going to say I wish I'd have written it down. I predicted this because I know my friend Jeff. I know him well. He had announced his show for yesterday. I saw this video. I linked it to him. All he wrote back to me was, what the, and I'm like, he's going to change his show and he's going to have a database. Well, here it is.
We still talked about the show. Make it a little bigger, Chris. It's harder to read.
Can I?
Yeah, the zoom's just above the A cell. There's 100% written there in the toolbar. There's 100%.
Do you see the
Go
paint roller? There
150.
you go.
There
There
you
I
you go.
got my readers on. Go 150.
I was going to have to tell you to think about your secretary, but I know you don't have a secretary.
And they're collapsible too if you don't want to.
And
want to bypass
I
something.
got the that was a reference from Blazing Saddles. I got you.
Ooh, I can collapse it on you.
Don't
Okay.
squash him.
All right, so these are parts that are being merged, correct? And we're gonna just sit down. If you see something interesting, say so. These are old bricks the way they did back in the day. So is this an issue of the smooth and the not smooth?
No,
here?
these ones aren't. These are still the. These are just the frosted variants. Like they had a text description of frosted, with frosted interior was the description. So
I'm
I
sorry.
think they're basically just
Every time you talk about the smoother rough, I can hear Anakin Skywalker about sand.
Sand.
If you set the zoom to about 175, you'll probably, or maybe 150, you'll probably be able to see the last column. Oh,
Okay.
well, barely there, smooth.
How
Yeah,
about if I
there you go.
just
See
bring
that?
that down
Do that.
just there. There we go.
There you go. Now we can see the word. So they're basically saying that this piece, they're removing the smooth, like the smooth indicators on those parts.
All right, so
Um,
here's the well, I was talking about. There's a thickness difference in these that is noticeable when you put it on the side of a spaceship or something. You put sagbos together. It is noticeable. So there's a difference in the chairs. The center sprue mark.
they have a chair that has a little mold point on the seat, and someone
Dogs
listed it as
and
an
cats
individual
living
item.
together.
Can't we all just get along?
I don't think that's ever going to happen now.
These
Well-
are all the new versions of the torsos that have come out for the past few years.
So I
and
mean, now this is going to be. I mean, if they're all reissue, that's fine. But if they're going to collapse the old one and the new one, I mean, that affects like my son and his job and stuff, and verifying sets that like use Lego stores and stuff like that. So, yeah. All right.
Does Jake
click
get paid by the hour? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna be more time for him, sure. Yeah. Now this one is like you said, this is a functionality issue. We said this beforehand. Some of these have 7 teeth and some have 9.
yeah,
And there's a functionality issue with those, which I'm not a huge click.
they do have the same degree of motion. It's just like the 9s have 2 extra click points, right?
Yeah, right.
So I mean, ideally, the 9s are probably better in most cases.
Yeah.
Which are the newer ones.
Oh no, they're changing Duplo. No. All right. Yeah. So they're changing all these with the closed hole, open hole, blah blah blah.
Got your open hole.
Okay.
Right here.
And for the record, in that last gray cell, there's another 4,000 things that are all the printed versions of heads and stuff. So I've reduced the list for you to make it easier. To not be.
Is that a comment on
5,000.
my attention deficit? I don't know. Anyway, all right. So, big deal, not big deal. What do you think?
I feel like it's a big deal for the ones that care.
There you go.
And for me, I'm with Matt. I'm just moist.
Hey, you guys get a room. Anyway.
So as someone who has done set restoration, and I do appreciate all the nuances, and of course, if you're trying to put a set back to its original form or glory, these are going to be problems. But again,
Go ahead.
set restoration is a very niche, minute market. Or everyone AFOL is different, but the number of AFOLs that do set restoration, it's very minor, and they're already used to this problem to begin with. Because when I was looking for certain parts, 75% of the time I got the wrong part, even though it was listed as specifically this particular part. I had to order one part 3 different times before I finally got the right one. So
just
it
feels like
happens.
this is a solution in search of a problem. It's like, hey, we fixed this for you. And it's like, well, I guess like you said, sellers, people bricking things out probably had complaints on this. I guess there is an audience for it.
Yeah.
That also happens with colors though too. Like Adam was trying to get those 4x or 8x8 transparent blue panels, and he had to place like 5 or 6 different orders before he got the right shade, even though they were all listed as the medium light blue.
Well, and that's the thing too. You got so many sellers that don't know anything. They're not as knowledgeable about it either. And I mean, it's just blown up with the amount of sellers, and they don't know the difference either. So, this probably helps them because now they don't have to care anymore. They don't have to worry about it at all. But
let's get rid of all the sellers and start over.
Yeah, there you go.
There's going to be a test. You got to take a test on all these different part definitions.
I think the sellers who actually cater to the market that do want to know, and the buyers who are looking for them, they will find each other. They will still find each other
on Brickout.
Fall in love
on Brickout. But I think that the majority of people don't even care. It's if I'm building a mock, maybe I reach in and I pull out a specific type of clip, maybe yes or no. But for the most part, I don't think about it. It's only when I'm trying to restore an old set do I care.
I would almost guess he's not watching, but if he is, if Brickzar up in Cartersville, if he's having heart palpitations, I'll come visit and make sure he's okay. Because he's all about the old Lego. What's the young lady who collects old Lego Bricks and Giggles? Is that her name?
But again, she is a seller who is probably going to continue to differentiate between those parts, and people will go. If anything, for the sellers that do this is a bonus for them, because now they're going to stand out as being a seller that people go to for
the people.
Yeah. All right, I'm glad Brickzar is okay. I know he would be in Cartersville Hospital. I know where that is. I know the chaplain there.
But I heard if you go on the classifieds on Craigslist, that's where you're going to find all these parts now.
Well, no, that's not where you're. Well, actually, that's where you go mining for them, for hoping for people who don't know what they're selling because they throw it up on Facebook Marketplace or Craigslist. But if you're looking to restore sets, you're going to go to a seller who is still differentiating between these.
It's going to be a whole new area of Craigslist. Like people.
Yeah, I was going to say you're going to a different section of Craigslist than what I was referring to.
I'm going on.
So for the country, January the 6th was a horrible day. For Lego fans, January the 9th. So is that what we're saying? It's when the insurrection
too soon. Too soon?
And possibly for the next 4 years, but that's a different story.
And then he's like, what happened in January?
I just went onto Brick Owl though, and they don't list the group the click hinges. They don't list the 9-tooth or 7-tooth difference either.
Those sons of
I know.
Yep.
So that was part of our pre-show talk and everything. Is this an opportunity for Brick Owl to say, hey, we will differentiate, but probably not now that they only do it.
So sorry, they do have when you go to it, they do have an indicator on the page that says may have 7 or 9 teeth. So even them, like, they've just said, oh, who cares, right?
Roll the dice, baby.
Yeah.
And again, I still think it's going to be a thing where the sellers who differentiate will get the sales.
Yeah.
And for those people who don't care, they'll do the buy. I mean, I still laugh at the fact that if you do buy it now on some weird set and it pulls in, some seller who's got the majority of what you're looking for, and they've got them jacked up for like 3 or 4 times the price of a part.
Yeah.
And you know what? They're selling because there are some people out there who have more money than sense and don't care.
Yeah, and those people don't know that you could set a price limit on individual pieces as well to say, I don't want to spend $50 for this one part.
Correct. The people who have like $10,000 worth of brick right in the screen right now. So
do you know what this sounds like then? Here's what this sounds like. The bricklink stuff. Here's what this sounds like. Here's what this sounds like.
Pretty close.
Wait, this is what it sounds like.
What's it sound like?
It
When
sounds
ducks
like
cry?
eBay. It sounds
Rhymes
like,
with.
It sounds like the
Use your
noobs,
words. Use your words.
the noobs, the new people who come into the Lego community or start building, and they go to eBay and they buy just whatever at 4 and 5 times what it's worth. So let the new folks figure it out, and we will continue to do what we do.
The problem is, as a seller, the new folks are going to figure it out by asking us.
Don't
Yeah.
tell them. Don't make them learn the hard way.
Yeah. Now, this is an excellent point, and this is where, in my view, it is a big deal what's happening.
Yeah.
It's that gathered knowledge base of this from the community, because Lego, for good or for bad, sometimes it's a dumpster fire, sometimes it's not. The research has been done by the community since Bricklink. I remember when Bricklink was Brick Bay. Do you guys remember that?
No.
Bricklink was Brick Bay, and eBay sued them for the name.
Yeah.
And I'm like, is eBay going after Tampa Bay next? I don't understand. But or Green Bay. So it was changed to Bricklink. I remember those days. But there's been a lot of research and community involvement in the database. And so it is a repository of a lot of that information that seems like is just going to get kind of evened out and gone, and that's kind of a shame, I guess.
And that in itself is Lego's fault. Period. Nobody else's. Lego dropped the ball because they don't care about long-term hobbyists.
Well, that's not entirely true.
You know what? Nobody asked you.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. That is not entirely true.
Listen, not individual people that work at and with Lego. What I'm talking about is what do I call them at work? Hang on. The corporate overlords could give two craps less. That they don't care about us at Dollar Tree, and Lego doesn't care either.
Until they get their fees paid at the beginning of the month every month from Bricklink sellers, and realize, oh wait, maybe we should care a little bit because this is bringing in lots of money.
And if they didn't care, they would have just let Bricklink fold.
They would just shut it down.
They would just let it fold because
it's going to. It's just a matter of time.
No, it is a market. It is a data mine repository of gold for them.
To a point.
No, for everything. They're getting double. They're getting double the money on sales because they're getting the money from the original sales, and then they're getting a portion of the money from when somebody turns around and resells it again.
So what's wrong with lug bulk not being sold on Bricklink then?
Because
they're
not getting enough of the
That's because we have a you get a much discounted that they don't want you to know price. So
right. I know that it's because of that reason. But
I know this is a side cut to this conversation, but I would not be surprised if lug bulk goes away.
I've been saying that for years,
and not for the same reason that Kevin Hinkle would have professed it to, because people, he just didn't want to deal with it, and many lugs would split or collapse or fold or infighting just because of lug bulk. So that is a definite adherent problem, because anytime you get more than 25 people in the room, you get drama, and you got some lugs that are like 300 and 400 people. You've got
it only took 7 for us.
I was about to say,
actually, when it's just the 4 of us, there's already enough drama.
And just
but wait. So my point being is that going back to the fact that and Kevin used to say this forever, that the corporate would say we're not in the business of selling parts. Right. But now that they've had all this data from Bricklink, they realize, we've been missing out because we should be in the business of selling parts. And we're selling lug bulk because it seems like it's a quick cash grab once a year, because it's a huge influx of money from your niche market. But now that we've got Pick-a-Brick becoming best sellers, and that they had to set a limit of 999 pieces, I don't think that was just somebody saying, "Oh, let's just do this." I think somebody set that up as a reason to say to throttle because, hey, you're making the ability for me to buy parts in bulk and get them quickly.
So 2 comments. First comment, just back to yours. The database administrator probably just wanted to save a character of space and only limited it to 3 characters for quantity. But anyways, going back to what Bricksmith said about
Did I say something?
about bricklink dying.
Yeah.
Since January 1st, they've put through. There's been about 233,000 bricklink orders.
Yeah.
In 25 days.
So why are some of the people in the room right now saying that they're
It depends on what Jeff is not pointing out, and what the data doesn't show is what is in or what are the majority of those sales for.
Yeah.
And it could very well be that a lot of sets are still. I mean, we're post Christmas grandma money, so sets are going to be picked up on the secondary market, and as Chris or Matt was mentioning, he sells mostly sets and minifigures.
Right.
And the minifigure market is not going to change.
No, of course not.
There's
Get more
no reason for the mini market to change. So sales, it's not like sales are going to stop. It's just what type of sales are going to be.
Yeah, and the minifig markets won't change because Lego doesn't sell every minifig on bricks and pieces. They don't sell it through lug bulk.
Right.
The only way you can pick up minifigs is from the third party things.
And you got
unless Lego decides to do that, obviously licensing is still going to be an issue for that. They won't do it.
I want to look one more time at that Lego's response to that long stream. Here it is. That long. There it is.
I saw a red shirt there. Oh, guy.
I mean,
Chris has been looking for that joke for a while.
Well, is this indicative of the fact that, and I use that word long in the tooth, the Lego hobby is long in the tooth. There is a long, that means it's old. That's what long in the tooth means. All right.
I was still stuck on indicative.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really think about it, a crappy selling set today probably sells more than Galaxy Explorer did back in the day, like number of copies sold, right? A crap set. So our old gray brick niche is honestly in that way, especially of old sets, is getting smaller and yeah. So I mean, I get it in some way, but it's like, what if the Smithsonian said, okay, that part of the Egyptian thing and that part of the Egyptian thing, yeah, there may have been a couple of pharaohs apart. Let's put them together.
Actually,
one's a museum and one's a corporate for-profit entity.
And on top
belongs in a museum.
And on top of the fact, museums will quite often lump together periods of pieces that sometimes can be hundreds or thousands of years together, all in one area. Wow, this is boring. And actually, but no, this is an interesting point because as a set restorer, I did think about this, and today, you know, if I put together a set that has maybe some parts that are from the 80s and maybe some parts that are from the 90s, and you know they're off, you know, the molds are maybe off just slightly, or it's a 2x4 plate from 1980 or 1989 versus 1980. In 50 years, no one's going to care. Because it's still almost 100 years old, both of them. So they're still going to fall into the same category of brittle plastic blue bricks. This is just a problem today. It will go away.
I think
no one will
Jeff's
care.
counting up. You said 2 things, and you've got 7 so far.
No. I'm counting, like you said, 50 years old. 50 years from now, those 1980 sets will be 100 years old, and I'm like 60 years from now.
Plus, Dana forgot that our AI overlords are not going to change.
Yeah, that's true too. And I'm sorry that I was off by 10 years in my math. I was just rounding.
I was more worried that
we're starting to sound like the dying breeds of stamp collectors and coin collectors that go, this wheat penny is an S versus a D.
Yeah.
Where 100 years from now they're not going to care. Is that what you're kind of saying?
Well,
I feel
100 years from
seen.
now it'll be archaeology.
There we go.
For the most part.
In that, I'm going to say that the new Batlord is superior to the old Batlord, and I stand by myself.
Get out, Chris. Just get out.
Until Lego takes those two helmets and say they're the same variant.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Ooh,
Oh man.
Hey,
You
by
just
the way,
had
do
to
you
go
remember
there.
the guy that did the Batman comic and he used the Batlord helmet for the Batman back in the 2000s? It was hilarious, actually. So I like that. Dude. All right, so we talked more about this than I thought. I know in the chat, battery powered bricks, and you're one of us old.
Actually, he's at battery power.
He's like 12. What are you talking about? He's younger than all of us by half.
Yeah. But
Old soul.
I think Slugger in his videos and Duckbrick jumped right on it right after and everything. They're collectors and the differences matter.
But they also weren't completely informed.
Do what?
Those videos were not properly informed. I think they probably raised more of an issue that by doing that than by, I think they probably didn't read through some of the posts. I mean, there's 650 posts in that one thread alone, but I think they just took the original posting and jumped on it and, just made assumptions.
Yeah.
But
I've changed my position. I agree with Mark. Whatever Mark says, I'm going with. Because he's not here, and there's nothing you can do about it. Because I'm a flip flopper. That's what we do in America. We flip flop. You guess you Canadians didn't know that.
Oh, we've seen your presidents. We know.
They flip flop the metrics. So.
Not wrong. He's not wrong.
My take in the pre-show was not a big deal. It only affects like 1%. But it's another case of Lego community freak out. And
never heard of it. Did we do that?
When Jeff bore down into some of the specifics, like it does matter for some very discrete and specific instances. But for 99.5% of bricklink users, they'll never know the difference.
Big Screen Bird, don't look up Pierre Polyev because so much worse. Anyway, he's the opposition leader. Anyway. Yeah.
What are we talking about? Did we bring politics? It must have been me.
Well, Canadian politics doesn't really count.
Wow.
Well,
You hit all the old man topics.
politics is like
You
reading
hit
the funny
health,
Y'all
you
sent me
hit
the advice.
politics,
So I'm pretty sure someone this year, and I'm predicting it now, April Fool's Day, there's going to be someone will post or put a video out that says Bricklink is merging old gray and new gray together in the same category or something like that. Because, that's probably the one that people would freak out about the most.
Love it.
I will happily share that fake story.
Now, I will say, even though this show is old gray, Bricklink should just call gray and not medium stone gray and called it old gray. That just needs to happen. That should have happened.
My old gray and new gray is already mixed, so I'm in trouble already, I guess.
Old gray should be called dirty, faded-looking gray that you would never want to use.
But new
Okay,
gray
we're
can
changing
also
the name
be,
of the show to old gray, dirty, faded, old. Yeah, there we go. Wow. It's okay.
Yeah,
Francine called me
Old
dirty,
gray,
old gray
moist,
brick or
gray,
whatever.
moist bricks.
Moist gray. That should be
Moist gray.
moist gray.
That's the
Listen,
after
you boys
dark
can be
show.
what you want. Me and Matt, we're going to be moist gray.
There's been more mentions of the word moist in this show than it has all 3 years of the show.
It is
So.
It turns out that Dana's participating in the second Hashima build, and his jersey on the back is going to say moist.
There it is. I love it.
That's Trouble's moisting right there.
Nice.
I was very close to having the back of my jersey say David Zool, so just pointing that out.
We should try to hack into Trouble's bricking just to rename it for 24 hours, see if he'll notice.
They don't let you change it enough, so it's an ordeal to change your name.
I mean, we could probably let's just spend the last 5 minutes of the show guessing what Dana's password is and see.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What, to change Trouble's bricking right here? Chris can do that in minutes.
Raccoon Lover 447.
Chris, I'm surprised you haven't, or maybe you're searching for it right now, looking for a moist GIF to add to
No,
the
I'm
show.
not. I do not want. I don't want to drip. I don't want to. I don't know what any of that means. I don't want it. So
I think moist pink would be fine.
Moist maker, big screen bricks, nice.
Oh, Julian,
Bird's the word.
thank you for
over
that
there.
early
That ain't
Christmas
got-
or that late Christmas present right there. That was fantastic.
mm,
Yeah, I
Is
have a
somebody
friend of mine.
clipping these? No.
I have a friend of mine who's very adverse to the word moist. So for her birthday, every so often I will send her a card that all it says is moist on the cover of the card.
You need to get one. You get one of those cards that records a message, and when she opens it, just start singing "Happy Birthday" with the word "moist" replacing all.
speaking of those, have y'all seen? And of course, it comes up in the social media ads. It's we always had the singing cards. Now it's like the ultimate evil singing card. Once you open it, sign it, close it, pull the tab off the side.
Yep.
It is locked in, and you put it in the envelope. And as soon as they open it, it starts singing. Even if you close it or open it, it will not stop.
Yep.
And until the battery runs out, and if they decide to rip it open and get the battery out, it's full of glitter, and
Wow.
I didn't know about the glitter part. That's great.
It sounds like a Mark Rober package scam.
Where can I buy this?
At the moist store.
Next time it rolls through whatever my TikTok ad or whatever, I'll send it to you. And
Yeah. Not the birthday card anybody wants to get.
That's you.
Oh, it's for your frenemies. Your frenemies.
Yeah, that's right. So since most of us will be at Atlanta Brick Co., we can talk about that for half a second. I'm excited about the show. In fact,
Atlanta Brick Con.
I was corrected. You're corrected now.
Oh, Con, whatever. This weekend we actually have our lug has a show at Train here in Kennesaw, a small show which is a lot of fun. But it's only 2 weeks till Atlanta Brick Con, so I'm excited for it. I'm kind of like, well, I really haven't built a whole lot of new stuff since last time, but I'm good. I've got.
There's a whole lot of group of kids that have never seen what we have done.
That's true. But I'm in negotiations to have a crater table that will not make me have to put all the other stuff around it to make it fit. And stuff like that. So I'm excited about it. Man, you can commute up from Jacksonville. You can get there over the weekend. You got to do it,
it's
man.
not crossing my mind. You guys are really making it.
Listen. I make those trips. I did a 10-hour drive for the lug meeting in one singular day, Saturday. You can do it. I can do it. 5 up, 5 back.
Andy did it with his ex-wife.
Yeah.
And a 2-year-old.
Oh,
and
wow.
A 2-year-old.
Good on you. Good on you.
That's how we get down in the dirty.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Chris.
Chris wasn't
I hate
there,
it. I
though.
missed it. I really do.
No, I'm saying right now.
So I wanted to say this earlier, but we were going to talk about this other topic for so long. But looking at the map, they just published the map for the layout for the floor. We've got double the space from last year, and it's still packed. There is tons of tables, tons of exhibitor space. I'm excited. I mean, the fact that we've got people coming from all over is a huge boost to the Atlanta Lego market. Just fan community in general. Yeah. We've got people coming from all over the country, and
that information isn't posted where what people are coming. That's
but if you read the names and you know the people, then you know.
On the list, yeah, true enough.
So,
I need to I'm going to email Nick tomorrow. I forgot to do it today. I actually was in touch with a guy from local media. He's Paul Milliken. He's on Channel 5, Fox 5 here, and he's their roving reporter, fun guy. He knows the Ericksons because he's done stuff with them. And I told him, I'm like, dude, you need to come to this. And he's like, I want to come. Have the organizer get with me. So I got to do that tomorrow. So he would come out like Friday morning, which means Thursday we need to get a bunch of stuff up. And if Bricker Builds had their stuff, that's TVable right there, for the market. But also I dropped the there may be another convention in town. Some people like it, some people don't, but this is the better one because it's local. So
and I don't even know why we haven't brought this up at any point in time, and maybe it's just been slipping through. But I didn't notice until earlier this week that Christopher and Robert are going to be at Atlanta BrickCon.
there they are.
Dad,
Oh, there's going to be a bunch of us season 4. Lewis is coming in too.
this is. I'm even more excited now. I mean, this is just.
Oh,
Keep your pants on.
Oh no! I'm bringing sweatpants.
Me.
Okay.
The room.
You guys and all of them and Julian and
Well,
Overalls,
it's just amazing. All these people coming.
Apparently,
shut up, Tim.
overalls or
Yeah.
no overalls?
Tim better be wearing overalls. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Hey,
Maybe
you know what I
you
call
don't
it?
know. I don't
Overalls?
know.
Easy access.
I have my new Hashima Christmas pajama bottoms that I'll be wearing, so that'll happen. You think I'm kidding? I walked into Kohl's and there is flannel pajama bottoms, and they are in the colors basically of the new Hashima colors, and I'm like, I need these.
And you didn't give that to us for Christmas gifts?
I thought about it. You got Lego instead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he gave me the
drawers.
That is good point. Good point.
So
I was
yeah,
not
it's gonna be
disappointed.
exciting. I'm trying to figure out if there's gonna be a day I'm gonna stay over. I'm gonna have to come back late Saturday to do Sunday morning and then go
I was
back.
wondering about that.
Yeah, so but I mean I'll arrive back over there at 1 o'clock. So
That's late.
on Sunday. So the good thing about also our convention is we have a public day doesn't start till what? 1 o'clock? So
No,
10
10 o'clock. Public day doesn't start until 10 o'clock.
maybe
10 o'clock
it's 10.
Sunday is 9 o'clock Saturday, 10 o'clock Sunday, or is that work?
Hang on. I thought it was 10 o'clock each day. I will pull up
Anyway.
this real quick.
Oh,
I am
I just feel-
excited to actually have stuff to put on the Friendship Timber fly-in. The big spaceship will come for that, and I'm excited to participate in that. I actually have 2 new Hashima small little scooters to put on the display somewhere to feel like I'm participating with that and everything. Moto needs to come over here. I mean, I'm saying he knows the way.
And actually, Moto's comment, I'm not saying that this wasn't just maybe one of the top reasons why, yes, I am contributing to Hashima to get one of those jerseys. I
Yeah.
got one coming. So
That is a matter of pride for sure.
but yes, the public hours are from 10 to 5 on Saturday and 10 to 4 on Sunday.
I believe there's still those tickets available. So they sold them hard last year.
It's getting
And
close.
it was full, and so we got so much more space. I'm excited by it.
Space.
Everything.
More
So,
space.
more space.
I just realized
And the tickets are blocked. So you have a time slot that you can come in.
Yeah.
So that's just cool.
I just noticed that if anybody's looking for my castle, I'll be in the shadow of New Hashima City again. So just look for New Hashima City and might find me sulking in a corner. No, I'm just joking.
You need to get you a drone with an arrow that just points down to yours, floats over your castle.
I have to be like a hot air balloon or something more, ancient.
You could do like a Wizard of Oz cross reference there. That would work.
I appreciate that Nick apparently knows how old and feeble I am because my spaceship table is like right by the back door. So all I gotta do is just wheel in, drop, and then wheel back out. So.
Yeah, I was thinking about.
He knows that I have to go to the bathroom all the time, so I'm all the way up the front, so I can just quickly go out to the restroom.
I was going to say I'm close to a bathroom too.
I got a tinkle now.
I just tinkled,
What a segue back to our initial conversation.
Depends.
and now I'm feeling a little moist.
Then
Not in a good way. Not in a good way.
There's
Man,
no
I just
bad.
threw away one of those little hospital pee bottle things. I could have brought that to one of y'all.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? We're up S Creek without a.
Or are we? God,
man.
roll.
All right. So
I
I'm
don't know
excited
about
for
y'all,
the
but
show.
I'm done here.
Yeah, we're done. By the way, this is our new tradition. We'll play this every time before we go. What do we do on Old Gray Bricks? We die. All right.
I don't want to die.
It's
It's only our sensibility that has died.
Okay, that's fair.
you got
All right.
sense.
Not anymore.
All right. Everybody have a great night. Be kind to your neighbors. Be awesome and build awesome, everybody.